Here comes the rush. Brissett steps up, can't get away, and Brissett is slammed down. Derek Wolfe leading the charge for Denver. An orange crush.
CBS there with the call. Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts. All right, so our buddy Mike Kliss reporting that the Broncos might be looking to target defensive linemen in free agency. And the names out there that jump out, certainly you look at guys like DJ Reader and Javon Hargrave, guys from Houston and Pittsburgh respectively. But if you need defensive linemen, what about the guys you already have here? What about Shelby Harris? What about Derek Wolfe? Why look elsewhere when you got these two? Why not have these guys?
Yeah, I mean, you know them best, right? They're on your team. You know them best. If there's something they're not providing, if you think there's, going to be a downtick in production or age, I mean, Shelby Harris is, 29? Derek Wolfe's been around for a long time. So, and he's had some injury histories. Hey, listen, I think you need multiple guys. I think you need to create a better roster. And maybe a Derek Wolfe that has a little bit more of an ability to have a rotation is better off for you. So, yeah, I could definitely see that. It certainly seems like they think that Shelby Harris is going to make some money, and they don't feel like they're going to pay that money for Shelby Harris.
Realistically, then, how many defensive linemen do they need, whether it's through free agency or the draft? And again, I'm thinking more about, interior type guys. How many do they need? 3? 2? 4?
Well, I mean, think about it. If Shelby Harris is gone, Gotsis is gone, you'd like to upgrade some of your backup players, right? So would Mike Purcell, would you like to make Mike Purcell maybe get yourself like a Michael Pierce from Baltimore and say you're our starting nose guard and the rotational guy is Purcell?
Because right now the only guys you have is what? Is Draymond Jones, DeMarcus Walker?
Yeah, and you're not counting on that. You probably need to sign two and keep at least maybe a Derek Wolfe.
Yeah, so you're looking at least coming out of this at least with 3 or 4. Okay, with
right.
The free agency and the draft. All right, next on the Morning Brew.
I like the way we played. I like we found each other and we had that attack mentality and we were able to capitalize on a few.
All right, there's my captain, Gabe Landeskog, as the Avalanche beat San Jose last night 4-3. Just kind of taking stock, for those who are, maybe unaware of what's going on with the Avs and what's at stake right now. First of all, here's the good news. The good news is they have all but clinched home ice in a potential first-round matchup against the Dallas Stars. Okay, they're 8 points ahead of Dallas, so they're not going to lose that. Dallas has lost 5 in a row. So the Avalanche are assured of at least a home ice first-round matchup against Dallas. Now, the big hunt, the big prize remains St. Louis, because if you're able to surpass St. Louis, not only do you win the division, not only do you get to play the 8th seed, but you will have home ice throughout the entire Western Conference playoffs. So I continue to circle it. Circle it on your calendar, folks. The last game of the regular season against the St. Louis Blues, Saturday afternoon, April 4th here. It just feels like that's going to be for home ice throughout the entire Western Conference playoffs.
It does. How many birds in the bush do they have?
Birds in the bush?
Yeah,
You mean games in hand?
Yes, the birds in the bush. How many birds in the bush do they have?
They no longer have any games. Actually, they have one. They have one game in hand with St. Louis. So they're 2 points behind the Blues, and they have a game in hand. So theoretically, you win that game, you are tied.
That's right. Tweet. Birds in the bush. I love it.
Birds in the bush. Next on the Morning Brew.
I think the difference was the 21 points we allowed off our turnovers, a porous transition defense, and I think they shot 55% for the game. So defense continues to be a real issue for us.
There's Michael Malone, whose team in the last
he sounds happy.
Whose team in the last week has lost to the two worst teams in basketball. The worst team in the West, Golden State. The worst team in the East, Cleveland. So, does it matter? But they continue to be number 3 in the Western Conference, and boy, did they get a break tonight? How about this for a break? Here comes Milwaukee into town tonight, fresh off playing yesterday against Phoenix, so the dreaded back-to-back, and they don't have the Greek Freak. No Giannis. He's out for a couple games with a knee sprain, which kind of stinks because,
right?
Yes, it basically sets up an easy night. Should be an easy night for the Nuggets that you ordinarily would have looked at and went, "Ooh, that could be difficult." But you missed a chance to watch, the guy that could be the MVP of the league.
Well, I thought maybe he was taking a couple nights off for hurt feelings after LeBron put him down.
Oh.
You got to get a couple nights. In the NBA, you get load management, you get hurt feeling nights. Those type of things. So
this was like like a done in by the king.
Yeah, it's
type,
like hey, you just lost the MVP. You just basically gave up your lead in the MVP voting to the king. So now you got to lick your wounds for a while and take some time off. That's what I thought this was.
Yeah, you're right.
It's time for hurt feelings. Come on now.
You're right. Good point. So he lost the MVP, and now he's bummed out. I got you. It takes a couple days to recover from that.
Absolutely.
Okay, next on the Morning Brew.
Now under center is Phillip Rivers. Hands off to Austin Eckler. Shakes, bakes, pushes his way toward the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. Austin Eckler from 5 yards out.
Thank you. The LA Chargers reached a deal with Austin Eckler. A 4-year, $24.5 million deal that includes $15 million guaranteed. Is that the blueprint to get a deal done with Philip Lindsay?
Well, do you think that Philip Lindsay is as valuable as Austin Eckler?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I see a very similar type. Well, actually, I don't.
I don't know about similar.
You're right. Hold on. You're
Eckler
right.
caught like 90 balls.
You're right. Okay, so if you're right, then you know what? Austin Eckler's a better player.
Yes. Oh, I think he's a more complete player,
Yes.
Mike. Just like, hey, listen, man, I don't mean to rain on Broncos CU fans parade, but Austin Eckler, if you gave me a choice between he and Philip Lindsay, I'd take Austin Eckler 10 out of 10 times.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because I will concede 100% that Eckler is the better receiver, no doubt. You're right. He had 92 catches this past year for 1,000 yards and eight touchdowns. But he's not nearly the accomplished rusher that Lindsay is.
Yeah.
His high water mark this year was 557.
Right, but I bet you he's averaged 5 yards a carry.
4.2.
Pretty close. Where is Lindsay at on that? Now again, remember he's coming in and he's spelling Melvin Gordon.
Correct.
So he hasn't gotten the opportunities. I'm just telling you from a complete back standpoint and the way they run offense today, he probably has more value because of his ability to catch. I mean, he's an outstanding receiver.
Well, he'll get a chance probably to be a number one back now, right? Because I don't see Gordon going back to the Chargers.
I don't think Gordon's going back either, but I don't think they take him out. I don't know if they'll take him out of that role. He kind of is a modern day Darren Sproles now. Darren Sproles been hurt the last couple of years, but look at the downtick in offense when Sproles left the Chargers, and then when Sproles left the Saints. And Sproles is just an interesting cat, and he's much more valuable in the role that Eckler, I think, is more valuable in the role that he's in, and I think that's a harder role to fill. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers go out and get themselves a back to be more of the bell cow. Now, he may get more opportunity, but I still think he's going to be mostly in that kind of opportunity that he's in.
All right, that'll do it for the Morning Brew. Bring that to you each and every morning at 6:30.